Steve Jewin for MMA Mania. This interview with Josh the Punk Thomson was recorded on November 25th, 2015, before the main event of Bellator 147, where he will be fighting Pablo Villaseca. That fight takes place December 4th, San Jose Event Center in San Jose, California. Without further ado, let's talk to longtime UFC Strikeforce and now Bellator star Josh the Punk Thomson about his upcoming fight with Pablo Villaseca. Steve Jewin, MMA Mania.
All right, Josh, you're on the phone with Steve with MMA Mania.
Josh, it's good to talk to you again. How are you doing today?
Good. What's going on, bud?
Not too much. Hey, you've got a big fight coming up on December 4th against Pablo Villaseca. So, first things first, tell me a little bit about your thoughts on facing Villaseca in the main event.
It feels good to be the main event. It's just nice to be doing it here in my hometown in San Jose. We'll be at San Jose State University, kind of getting it on, and it's going to be great, man. I'm excited.
It should be a great fight, should be a fun fight, and I know the fans of San Jose will turn out for you like they always do, but I think a lot of people are still trying to figure out who Pablo Villaseca is. There's one fight in Bellator, so tell us what you know about him.
Yeah, honestly, we're just trying to get the Bellator fans to see if they know who I am, get to know me, and, like I was trying to tell all the other guys, the media sources, that not everyone that watches Bellator turns around and watches the UFC, and if they do, they potentially never see me fight because you have a UFC that's on every week, one's like on Wednesday, one's on Friday, one's on Saturday, and, and fans, they kind of just tune them out after a while. So how do you know you're that fighter that they actually tuned in to watch? So, for me, this is just trying to get the Bellator fans to get an opportunity to get to watch me fight. I need to go out there and have a dominant performance, put on a great show, and, do it right here in my hometown.
It's certainly not a guaranteed cakewalk just because people aren't familiar with him. They probably are more familiar with you than him, but he's still a good fighter. 10-1, 3 KOs, 4 submissions. He's a real guy.
Mm-hmm. No, that's the thing. Yeah, I can't underestimate him. I mean, realistically, I had a great camp. I worked on all areas of what I need to work on. I feel like I definitely feel like I have all the tools to beat him. And it's just a matter of going out there and making it exciting and getting it done.
Now, in your Bellator 145 with a Vengeance interview, I noticed that you said that it's all title shots from here on out. So, is that what you're thinking with the Pablo Villaseca fight? Win impressively and then face Will Brooks?
We'll see what happens. For me right now, it's just my focus after this fight will be nothing but the title. And whether, and I'm just throwing this out there, but I'm trying to get on the New Year's Eve fight in Japan. I'm trying to get on the Fresno card in Fresno, the Bellator Fresno card. And I'm trying to get on that Ken and Hoist Gracie fight. That Ken Shamrock and Hoist Gracie fight in February. So if all comes to fruition and I can get through these fights unscathed, you're going to potentially see me fight 3 times in the next 3 months.
That would be fantastic. But if you did fight on the Rising card, who would you be facing?
We really don't know. I mean, realistically, obviously, in this situation, you got to talk about one fight at a time. Who's to say that I go in, to the Pablo fight and come out and be able to walk? Maybe I hurt my foot, maybe my shin, maybe my elbow, something along those lines. I mean, so right now we're really just kind of waiting to see. I do know that Japan has been, they've showed some interest in having me fight, and I fought over there several times, so there's a following I have over there. And, and it'd be nice to get over there and fight, but I gotta get through this fight first.
And they are definitely booking Bellator fighters for the card. I know King Mo is in their Grand Prix tournament for that show.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting. Mo's always exciting to watch fight, and, and he's healthy now. He's back, back. Ribs are good, legs are good, everything's good, so it'd be exciting to watch him fight.
It was kind of a shame to see him go out in the tournament like that when he was on the same card with you. We all thought he was going to the finals, and then, lo and behold, he got replaced.
Yeah. It was crap. He tried to fight, he was trying to get out there. I was watching him try and warm up in the back, and he just couldn't do it, man. It just, the time frame in between, when he cooled down, his body got cool. He just stiffened up on him, and he just couldn't move.
Yeah, that's what I heard too, is that once he had a couple hours to rest, the ribs started hurting, and then he couldn't breathe, and that was the wrap.
Yep.
Well, at least you saved the night by going out there and having a great fight with Mike Bronzoulis, so it all worked out well.
Yeah.
Now, how do you rate your performance in that fight anyway?
I wasn't really too excited about it, but I mean, like I said, there was a lot of first-time jitters, being with Bellator, there was a little bit of pressure on there, obviously you wanted to deliver. I got signed to a great contract. I felt great going into it, Bellator took care of me, so I wanted to make sure that I went out there and, and got the win. The most important thing was getting the win, having a dominant performance, coming out unscathed and, and getting the finish. That was, to me, was important, not just going the distance and, inking one out. I wanted to go out there and try and get the finish. It's just a matter of, you're in your hometown, it's your first fight with the promotion that, thinks highly of you, and you want to make sure that, you take care of them as much as they take care of you.
Well, I think you got those jitters out during the first 2 rounds. Once you got warmed up and you got that arm triangle choke in, I could see that he wasn't getting out.
No, we were able to slide right up into it, from the takedown, and, once it was locked in, he wasn't going anywhere.
It kind of burst the bubble on Mike Brunzoulis because he told me before the fight he thought he'd be the Conor McGregor of MMA and Bellator. I'm like, nope, you're not even close to that right now.
Nah, he's a nice guy, though. I got to tell you, out of all the guys that I've fought throughout my career, he was definitely one of the most respectful, and he was awesome. Had an opportunity to talk to him a little bit beforehand, when we first showed up to check in for Bellator, and then I saw him again at the weigh-ins. It was definitely very respectful, and I can appreciate that.
Well, hopefully he'll be back again on a card coming up here sometime soon because, he is a nice guy. I won't say that he isn't because I had a great interview with him. I had a great interview with you. So it built up to a great fight and everybody tuned in for Dynamite 1 and enjoyed it. So it worked out perfectly. And that's what they're going to do too for this. I mean, it seems like this will be not only your opportunity to showcase yourself in the main event, but to show your drawing power because who knows, you get 1.5 million viewers. That'll be big business for them.
Yep.
Let's take a look at all the different stuff going on with Bellator on this card. You've got some other fights that are going to be very intriguing that are co-main eventing underneath you. One of them is Georgi Karakhanyan and Daniel Weichel, 2 featherweight top contenders. What do you think of that bout?
I think it's going to be like 2 little ferrets going at it. It's going to be good, man. Action-packed fight. 2 guys that, are trying to get to the title shot. So it'll just be a matter of them getting there and, being there.
For Georgie, it's kind of ironic because he had that title shot and was all set to go at Bellator 138 and then blew out his ACL, so he had to sit on the sidelines and wait for a bit, and you know what that's like.
Yeah, and that's the worst part, is when you could have had it and then you didn't get the opportunity to really do it, and that's happened to me a couple times, and it's unfortunate, but, that's part of the fight game.
Indeed it is. And there's some lightweight fights on the main card that are intriguing too, some guys that you could end up matched up with in the future, like the winner of Patricky Freire and Derek Anderson.
Yeah, that's interesting. I've seen Patricky fight several times, and and Anderson's definitely a tough guy, and it's going to be exciting to watch the 2 of them fight. I'll get a chance to actually sit and watch them fight as I'm getting ready for mine.
Another exciting fight for the event center in San Jose. How is it different from fighting at the SAP Center? Is it same size, a little bigger, a little smaller?
No, it's a little smaller. I think it seats about 7,000 or something like that, and then they'll have their walkout cage room and stuff, so we'll probably about 6,000 to 7,000 people there. But, it's mainly, we're mainly hosting to try and get, a lot of the students in there. It's from San Jose State. We're trying to draw a new market and, I'm a pretty big draw here in San Jose. I've got a lot of, the fact that I own a gym, Knox Gym. I've got a lot of students that train in my gym and my facility. So we're going to try and draw in from the San Jose State people.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome if you get a lot of students there. I mean, I hope they're not all gone for the holidays. I know a lot of people travel over Thanksgiving weekend, so hopefully they'll all be back by December 4th.
Yeah, they'll be back, I think, for finals.
Okay, so yeah, that'll be the perfect break from finals. Come to the event center and watch Josh Thomson fight.
Yeah.
I still want to get to know your thoughts exactly on Pablo Villaseca. Like, we've talked about the fact that he's a little less known than you are, to be honest about it, but what do you rate as his biggest strengths as a fighter?
You know what? He's pretty good all the way around. I feel like I'm better than him all the way around as well, but he's got decent stand-up, he's got a couple good takedowns. He's good on top as far as top position in grappling. He's good against the fence. I think he's pretty nasty when it comes to in the clinch against the fence. He's got good knees. He does some good work. So it's just a matter of, me being better than him everywhere. I gotta go out there and prove it and show it, and I feel like I can. I think he's gonna have to fight at a pace that I don't think he's used to fighting at, and I don't think a lot of fighters are used to fighting at the pace that I'm gonna set for this fight. So it's gonna be a tough fight for him.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned pace because that was something Daniel Weichel talked to me about earlier today. He said that he doesn't care what kind of fight he's in. He trains like every fight is a title fight. He'll train for a 5-round fight if it's 3 rounds. He goes out there with determination. I imagine that's your philosophy about it as well.
No, it is, you know, and it really just comes down to making sure that you're in shape, making sure that you're ready to go in all aspects of the game, whether it's the grappling, the stand-up, the wrestling, you know, whatever it is. Just making sure we're ready to go, and I think I am, man. I feel like I had a great camp. Felt good this camp. Felt, you know, everything feels good. This was a good camp for me to get ready for this fight.
All right. So what's the walking around weight like right now before you make the final cut?
Right now I'm 171.
Oh, okay. So yeah, no problem getting down to lightweight from there, I'm sure.
Nah, not at all. I walk around this weight when I'm not training, and I walk around this weight when I am training. So I'm always the same.
Now, the last time I talked to you, you said that you had been missing the taste of a cold beer when you're in the training camp, when you're deep in it. So have you had a chance to have any since your last fight?
Yeah, I did. I had some that night after that fight. I had a couple beers that night and hung out with some family and friends that were all flew in from like New York and Florida and all around the world. It was nice, you know, and then got right back to it. Now it's funny because this camp I haven't been craving alcohol, or beer. I've been craving pizza, you know. It's like, I don't know. I think it just has to do with, I think, the weather changed now.
Well, that's an incredible coincidence, though, because when George Caracaglia told me how he bulked up for his fight, he said beer and pizza.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's got all the vegetables and the meat and everything you need, I guess. I don't know. But I've been craving it lately. I think it's because the weather's starting to change. It's starting to get a little colder here.
Yeah, good hot pizza on a cold day is always a nice treat. But
yeah,
he told me his favorite beer is Corona. What's your favorite beer?
You know, I'm more of a shock top kind of Hefeweizen kind of guy. You know, shock top, Blue Moon kind of person.
Belgian wheat, you like that at all?
Yeah, I can handle a couple of those.
Yeah, I always like those too. But hey, you don't have any of those right now because you're getting ready for a big fight on December 4th. So I want to give you this chance to throw out the plugs. I know it's at The Real Punk on Twitter, but there's a million other things you can plug as well.
Yeah, my Snapchat's at The Real Punk, my Instagram's at The Real Punk, my Twitter's at The Real Punk. You can look me up on Facebook at Josh Thomson or Josh the Punk Thomson. I have 2 pages. And then I just want to give thanks. I did a lot of work this time with TRX. You know, Randy Hetrick and those guys out there at the TRX headquarters in San Francisco. I want to thank them all. And it's been great, man. Like, I've had my Knox gym. I've been training at my gym as well with a lot of my members and my students. And they've been helping me get me ready as well for this fight. So it's been great. I mean, my fitness should be good, on point, and ready to go. All
right. Well, one last thing before I let you go today, Mr. Thomson. Your prediction, submission or knockout?
You know what? I'm going to probably go submission only because I feel like I'm way better than him on the ground. But don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if you get a knockout.
Absolutely. Anything can happen. That's why it's mixed martial arts. So we'll find out on December 4th at the Event Center in San Jose. Pablo Villaseca takes on Josh Thomson in the main event of Bellator 147. Thanks for the time, as always, and we look forward to the fight.
All right, bud. Have a good one, man.
You too.